fuck up that shit. Yeah. I should go downstairs and see if Monica or Rebecca's home.
Jessica has the keys. Please do it for
You want me to call Jessica then?
Yes. How you doing, buddy? First day. First day.
Opening night every night.
We don't have tickets today.
Is that physical tickets?
Yes, we
Are we
have
supposed to have physical tickets?
Yeah, we were supposed to have physical tickets. We don't have them, so we need to.
Okay, I have the list of names of people who bought tickets too, so there's that.
Cool.
So what do we need to stand up for then?
Huh? To act as like a replacement.
Oh, like a stamp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where would we get that? Contrapasso came out of, like most ideas that I get, most ideas I come up with groups of people, like when I wrote with Alex Durazzo. We were working on another project. We were working on a show that we were putting on for Citrus College, and we were just toying with ideas. And I came up with this idea of an artist of some kind, I figured a writer, who used somebody with a crank in their head, and every time they turned the crank, a new idea would come out. We thought about we wanted, like, when we were writing this other show, we were playing with ideas of hell and personal hells and literal hell. And so we wanted to incorporate that. And so I started looking into details and imagery from Dante's The Inferno, or the Divine Comedy, whichever title you prefer to call it. And each ring of hell, everybody who's in it suffering is basically being punished in a way that is justified or that is appropriate for the crime or the sin that they committed. So people who are gluttonous are punished by, like, being fattened up and being filled with just wallowing and festering and shit. We thought about this idea of ironic punishment and somebody trapped in this kind of piece of hell that's just for them, that's just only applies to them. They're in this kind of like trapped environment where they can't go anywhere else outside of it because that's their punishment. There was white. It was a little pill bottle. Natalia bought it. It was weird. It was in like a pill bottle. Like some kind of, it looks exactly like a pill bottle.
Okay.
I know Natalia bought it because I saw it on the stage last night.
Okay.
Check all the boxes over here. So we got put in there, because again, it doesn't look like paint. It says paint on it, but it's in like a pill bottle. It's so weird.
It's not
No alcohol.
Okay.
Could I please have Coke?
Coke. Okay.
Able.
Alex, can you get me a Red Bull?
Yeah. You want a Red Bull?
Yes.
Okay.
Just we'll bring it in and we'll all try it.
Hey.
That's fine for you. Just bring your stuff and follow me.
Think Alex, feet. Iced tea, iced tea, iced tea, iced tea, mix with water. No, there's not much. Okay.
You might hold this up front if you like our smaller stuff. trash.
Open?
Yeah. How's the show going?
Good.
No, it's fine. Okay, cool. It's a great show.
How do you like it so far?
It's great.
Yeah, John. How do you like it?
My name's Nathan. I'm painting a clock, but it's not my. I'm playing crank. This is the clock I'm gonna live in. So, yeah. Some of these guys do it.
Yeah, I trust Nathan to do it.
Sorry. Thank you so much for being so fucking cool. It's our show. It's our show. Fucking true, bro. Either I don't do it and the show fucking sucks, or we do and we have a club.
So I need somebody to help me with that, and you need to like kind of like sweep backstage.
Oh,
Oh shit!
just a little bit.
I was asked to write an original piece for Infinatum Dramatic Arts. I brought my friend Nathan Gonzales onto the project to help him write the script because he had this really good idea that we had discussed before.
The way it's supposed to be used, it's alright, right?
Let's do that again.
How long have you been working on the show?
I've been working on this show probably for about 6 months, counting the writing process.
Guys,
yes.
I'm so sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
We're not free tickets for the show.
Free tickets for the show.
Yes, Jackie. Who's Jackie's idea?
Jackie's idea.
Ticket for opening show.
Okay.
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna find people and invite them to preview.
So you just cleared this out with Jackie.
It was Jackie's idea. So
Your show, not mine.
I agree.
Oh my god. So I told myself, okay, well, if I want to see it, I'm gonna die. My mom said, what's wrong with you? Six? What? No, sorry.
We wanted him to look very different compared to everybody else. So the idea is to kind of make him look like a drawing, so there's just that quality that just seems artificial about him. Because with the very harsh lines and stuff and the crank jutting out of his head, he kind of looks machine-like still with all the hard contouring and everything else like that. Just a fact.
I got lucky that I got crank, and it's been pretty fun actually. Pretty fun for me.
Hey guys, can you get everybody in the theater now?
Yeah.
Is that cool? You too.
What's that ice cream called? I don't know. It's like ice cream, whatever. It's not ice cream like that vanilla shit.
There's only so many things it could be.
Well, anyway, I had something for breakfast. It wasn't a lot. I don't like to eat too much before a show. His name's Lewis, and he's struggling to get his life back together. But he's trying this time. 90 days sober. There you go. Living in his car, but he's pretty much like my family. He's fallen, but he's very much on his way back towards a stable path. So he's a flawed human being, but he's a good man nonetheless, good heart and whatnot. He doesn't really challenge his brother all that much, not physically anyway. And I'm that way towards my brother too. It's a younger brother thing. Don't really know how else to elaborate. And also that, and
That's why we have glow tape. That's why we have glow tape.
What is this show to you as an actor, I guess?
it's just another interesting challenge for me.
Whenever? Alright, cool. So this is the crank, and it goes on like so, and they bobby pin and put my hair over it to hide all the black stuff. But this was made, Nathan made this, or Nathan designed this or something, right? Nathan designed it?
I didn't necessarily design it. I came up with it like in a sketch form, but then I sent it to a guy named Larry Frenzel I found on Craigslist, and he designed it, 3D modeled it on the computer, and we sent it to Shapeways. And Shapeways 3D printed it, and it arrived at our front door, and I painted it and basically made the rest of it
Yeah.
with the strap. Yeah.
So the crank, it turns, like it turns and it works. And when you rip it out, you just pull it out, and it's like this long. And there's a little magnet right here, so it just like sticks back in, and you can just put it back. That's pretty much it. That's the secret. It's pretty cool.
Days, man.
What are we doing?
Store. We're going to the liquor store.
Again?
Yeah, again.
All right.
Let's go. That's for our actors, as you can see. It's gonna be a long day. Oh, it's gonna be a long day.
Probably not. Yeah.
Talk like that? Let's go talk to the book.
Double fisting. Well, thank you. That's cute. He's got this on tape! I wasn't speaking to you.
What is going on?
I think it's what it is.
What do you think it is? Or well could it be, Langdon?
So, I'm Brian Avant. I'm 24 years old. I will be playing Victor Weymouth. He's a former college football star who's now turned into an entrepreneur. He's doing everything he can to try and stay relevant in today's world. He's a football player. He's big, he's strong, he's not intimidated. He's everything that I'm not. So it was really hard to try and be this big, imposing person, if you will. What I tried to do to get into character, I would feel where his energy is coming from, like where he radiates, and I would just try and walk around like Victor. Like walk how he would walk, basically put myself in his shoes so I can be this beast of a person that he is. I'll, I guess, give in a little bit. I'll go with the flow, but Victor, he is gonna get his way no matter what.
And you are more of a compromise?
Yeah, I'm more of a compromiser. I'll definitely give up some of my own liberties, if you will, just for the greater good of whatever.
Yeah.
But Victor's all about getting his own. What I'm learning is I have to be bigger. You know, just my choices, my actions, they all have to be grander than what I would usually consider at first. And I've heard that a few times, but it's just now finally sinking in, like, go bigger. Because that's when things really get interesting. Acting is, I can live in a way that I've always wanted to be, I guess. I can be these different people, these different characters that in a normal, everyday life, I'm just too afraid to be.
Do you feel bigger when you play Victor?
Yeah, definitely.
I lied. I lied about the second location.
I was just gonna finish everything.
The clock,
up
Langdon.
first, so that-
What's in the clock?
Wait, why is
last deep breath in together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2. Open your eyes. Shake it off, shake it off, shake your legs. Build up some energy. Right? Feel good. There. Cool.
Unique New York. You know you need unique New York.
You know you need unique New York.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Mango! Mango! Kiwi! Kiwi! Banana! Banana! Pumpkin! Pumpkin! Oh, what are the other ones?
Papaya.
Alright, cool. So how do you guys feel?
A distinctly difficult thing to say, but harder still to do.
A distinctly difficult thing to say, but harder still to do.
And the dragon will come at the beat of the drum with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-too.
And the dragon will come at the beat of the drum with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-too.
At a quarter to 2 to 2 today, at a quarter to 2 to 2.
At a quarter to 2 to 2 today. At a quarter to 2 to 2.
My name is Jackie Friedel, and I am the producer of Contrapasso. I didn't sleep last night, so for breakfast I had fresh morning air. It was beautiful and lovely, exactly what I needed. It's got its beautiful moments, and it's got its heartbreaking moments. Sometimes you can love theater so much and it just will not love you back, which can be frustrating, but when it does love you back, it's just... That's probably would be my main advice to myself, is just save a little more money, don't get too excited, slow your roll, and that's about it, yeah.
Actresses need water, I need beer.
How you feeling?
Good. I feel alright. A little stressed out. No worries. Alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's stressing you?
Not much, just a little bit of a light show today. I don't think the show is ever going to sell that well. I think, more than anything, I think the show is about accepting your limitations. I think it's about being able to understand who you are and what you can do and what you can't do, and kind of learning to be okay with it. That's kind of what I want people to take away from the show. I mean, I haven't been this excited about a show in a really long time. This show is really good. Jessica was watching it, and I mean, that intermission, me and her were both like, that was really cool. And she was like, yeah, it was really fucking awesome. Like, this show is very special. You guys are very special, and we're all part of something very special. And I'm so glad you guys all came on the screen with me, because I couldn't have done it without you, without any of you. So thank you all.
It's this clash of like basically the two sides of the artistic mind, where you have Langdon, who wants to work for money and for fame and for notoriety, and Crank, he comes from the other side where he's passionate. He wants to make art. He wants to have fun. So really the show is kind of the dichotomy of the artistic brain, where you have your passion fighting your instinct, or your desire to produce versus your desire to feel fulfilled artistically. So I think anybody who's an artist or an artistic mind that's had, well, I guess it could apply to anybody who's had a project they wanted to work on. But I think it applies to just about anybody who's felt that way.
I feel like Langdon is the kind of person who measures himself by his success, for better or worse. And I think I have that similar kind of way of thinking where I measure myself by my own success. And whereas Crank is about being creative, Langdon's about being successful, and maybe sometimes I measure my accomplishments by success rather than the actual product, for better or worse, I guess.
Do you feel like the show is a success?
Yeah. I really feel I had a lot of fun working with the actors. I feel like the show itself is wonderful.
But personally, do you feel like it's a success?
Yes.